Hey fam, it's Tina from Hungry by Nature. Now today is the 26th of March and in this video I want to show you guys what life is currently like in Melbourne with what's happening in the world right now. In this video we teamed up with the Mamuchos, Puri and Sue and Nick and Helmi to show you guys what life is like in cities like Istanbul, Kuala Lumpur and Sydney and what their restrictions are. So if you want to take a look at those videos, make sure you check the links in the description below. Without further ado, we're going to show you what's happening in our city, Melbourne. Constant. Wow.
So quiet.
Man, I have never seen this intersection like this before. I mean, there's only construction workers who are working on the streets. And look at look at Flinders Street. There's no one there. Oh my God. So we are at Bourke Street Mall. This is the city centre of Melbourne where it's usually buzzing with people, shoppers, workers, trams going up and down, but it is obviously significantly quieter. So some of the current measures that our government has imposed right now is they're obviously strongly encouraging or enforcing, I would say, social distancing. So everyone has to keep about 1.5 meters apart from each other. So currently this is considered a stage 2 lockdown of some sorts. So the government has notified us that we could potentially be moving into stage 3. Now what that involves, we don't know yet, but judging by what's happening around the rest of the world, we have a pretty good idea what that's going to entail. But we're going to wait and see, and it's probably going to come into force in the next few days. So essential services are still open. You can actually see some retail stores that are still open right now, although it's probably pointless. There's no one going in and out of like any clothing stores or anything like that. So I'm going to have to pull out my phone to let you guys know what is still open. So we've got essential services like supermarkets, banks, pharmacies, petrol stations, convenience stores, freight and delivery services that are all still operating, as well as hairdressers are still allowed to operate as well, but with social distancing measures. So not entirely sure how that's going to work out. And mechanics, butchers, bakeries, obviously GP clinics are still open. However, what they have closed down are pubs, clubs, cinemas, casinos, places of worship, nightclubs, entertainment venues, gyms, indoor sporting venues, beauty therapy, tattoo parlors obviously, children's indoor play centres, museums, libraries, community centres and youth centres are all closed, and weddings are restricted to a maximum of 5 people and funerals to a maximum of 10 people. Welcome to Melbourne Central Station. This is normally a prime meeting spot for everyone coming up from the station, but obviously no one is really out and about right now and not many people are working, so it is super quiet. One thing we have noticed though, however, is that the cleaning squad is out in full force. We've seen tons and tons of cleaners literally just going around cleaning rails, cleaning anything that people could possibly touch all the time, just everywhere. Which is kind of comforting to know that obviously, you know, they are really sanitizing the city and trying to keep it as hygienic and germ-free as possible. So I think that kind of makes me feel a little bit more at ease as well. Let's talk about food and supplies, the supermarket situation. Now in Australia, I think we were one of the first countries that started the whole toilet roll fighting and the toilet roll scarcity, toilet paper scarcity.
So that was the big one? Not really.
So one common problem obviously is still the lack of toilet paper, tissues and kitchen paper towels. So you won't really find them anywhere and they rarely bring them out. So here they've just replaced the whole section with other stuff. You can get some pocket tissues, but that is about it. Anything that is long lasting, from long lasting milks to canned foods, pastas, pasta sauces are all in short supply, and frozen foods, as well as meat. So people are buying meat out like crazy. So hopefully this all slows down soon. So in order to curb this, supermarkets have imposed limits per customer of how much they can buy of the items that are in short supply. So for example, toilet paper, you can only buy 1 packet per customer. So this discourages people from panic buying and buying too much of what they don't need and leaving little for others or people who actually need it. So guys, remember, do not panic buy. So the other thing they've done here in Australia is they've introduced a shopping hour for pensioners and healthcare workers. So they can hit up shops like Woolworth and Coles at 7 in the morning to get their shop before it opens to the public. So make sure you guys check out Puri and Sue's latest video right up here to see what life is currently like in lockdown in Malaysia, where only 1 member of the household is allowed out at a time. As mentioned earlier, public transportation is still operating, but as you can see, this is an inner city tram in the free tram zone. It is really quiet. Normally these are fairly packed and it's rare to get a seat. This is Flinders Street station and normally it is bustling. There's people coming in and out. This is one of the main train stations in Melbourne CBD where people arrive from suburbs to come into work, to go back home, but right now, nothing much is happening. We are at Federation Square, guys, and this is probably considered one of the busiest attractions normally in Melbourne, but as you can see, it is completely devoid of people right now. I have never ever seen it like this before. You're probably interested in seeing some other hot tourist attractions in Australia that are normally filled with people and you won't even recognize anymore. So for a look at some of the attractions in Sydney that are now completely devoid of people, check out Nick and Helmi's channel for a look at Sydney. I have never seen the Yarra River with literally no moving boats on it. Plus the Arbory, which is right there, always pumping, full of people all day long, is closed and empty. This is Graffiti Lane, aka Hosier Lane in Melbourne, that you never see with no one around, but right now there's only a couple people having a smoke down there and construction workers. That's it. I have never seen Hosier Lane like this before. This is crazy. It's crazy. This is considered one of the busiest food courts in central Melbourne. This is inside Emporium shopping centre. All the seating areas are sealed off. You're not allowed to dine here. However, the restaurants within food courts at shopping centres are still open for takeaway. Now guys, you might be interested in taking a look at what life is like on the other side of the planet. Our friends on YouTube, the Mamuchos, are currently in Istanbul, Turkey, where they are documenting what life is like there right now and what measures and restrictions they are taking there. So as you can see, a lot of the workers that are still working have to get takeaway from the shops and have to find a bench out in the open with social distancing measures to eat their lunch, since they can't eat at food courts and dine in anywhere anymore. Schools. So in Victoria, which is where we are, schools are currently closed. They closed on Tuesday this week. They pushed the school holidays forward, but the rest of Australia, schools are actually still open, except parents are encouraged to keep their kids at home. But if you don't have a choice, you can still send them to school. They're still open. As well as childcare centres, they still remain open to date. But you know, that situation can obviously change any day now. But right now, parents still have the choice to send their kids to childcare or school. Guys, if you're keen to check out what life is currently like in Calgary, Canada, be sure to check out Adventure Campitelli's video where they're giving people a glimpse of what life is like in Calgary. We just made it into the Crown multi-level car park. Car parking is completely free at the moment, and we are in the first food court, which is the one with McDonald's and KFC, and it's completely empty. The only shop that's open right now is McDonald's, who's offering takeaway. Everything else is closed. I don't think there's even a point of opening. It is dead here. This is crazy. I have never seen Crown like this before. Not even when I used to work here at Village Cinemas or at G-Star, when we used to come early in the mornings to open up. It wasn't even this quiet. The only thing you can smell is like cleaning products, hand sanitizer, and you can only see cleaners basically sanitizing everything. That is it. And that was a look at life in Melbourne with the current situation in the world on the 26th of March 2020. Now the situation changes on the daily, sometimes hourly. So what I'm saying right now might not be accurate at the time of publishing. We might already be in complete lockdown. Who knows? Now guys, if you are interested in checking out what life is currently like in other major cities around the world, you can check out Nick and Helmi's video showcasing Sydney, Puri and Sue's video showcasing Kuala Lumpur, and the Mamuchos' latest video showcasing life currently in Istanbul, Turkey. Don't forget to give this video a like if you found it informative. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and the notification bell to keep up to date with all of our latest videos. We'll be checking in with you guys again next week. In the meantime, stay healthy and take care.